I'm just gonna count it down again. So 5, 4, 3.
Hello! Welcome back to NASA Marathon Spooky-thon, where we name ourselves Whoa! Very ghostly name indeed. Thank you, Dale Duck. That'll be our name. So... Whoops. Well... Can I just... Oh, well, I guess I have to start the profile again, because I already ruined it. Oh, that's interesting. Quo is apparently the Dosty logo. That's nice. So are we ready to start in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. So we're gonna quickly pick our character and get started. We're gonna start off with Oliver's math class. So this is SuperTuxKart. It's basically a game that was started around mid-2000s and has been in development since. It's basically a game based on open source. It's basically open source mascots and playing a racing game. It's not Garfield Kart. So, for example, Kiki is the character for a paint program. And the basketballs are basically the blue shell of this game, which are pretty lame. So we're basically going in a specific order of the levels because we want to not have as many character selections as possible, because selecting a character costs a few seconds, but selecting the appropriate character can also save time. So this character is based on acceleration, and that's kind of why I picked this character for levels like these, because I have to stop and start a lot. So a good example is right here, having to turn around there is a good character choice for acceleration karts. Now, what I'm basically doing is there's a checkpoint system in this game. There's two types of checkpoints in this game. There are respawn points and there are actual checkpoints. So what I'm doing by traveling in this fashion is I'm trying to avoid all the respawn points, but also hit the checkpoints. So what I'm essentially doing is I'm basically manipulating where I respawn. Next is here. So Kiki is one of the high acceleration karts, and it's really good for doing levels where you have to skip and backtrack. So right here I'm going to hit this checkpoint right here, this level checkpoint. I'm going to backtrack this way. Yeah, there are achievements, by the way. You get achievements for doing certain things. So this level is a nitro challenge. Basically, the whole point is to get as much nitro and complete the nitro win condition, aka gather as much nitro. At the bottom right, you can see this sort of like white line that's indicating how much nitro I need. Right there. So right there is basically a seam between a respawn point and a checkpoint spot. So what I'm essentially doing is I'm trying to avoid the respawn point so I can spawn back at the finish line, because right now the game thinks that my respawn point should be at the finish line, but I'm not actually going from the finish line. I'm actually respawning in a weird way. I'm actually just backtracking just really weirdly, and the game just doesn't know what to do about it. So because I never update my respawn point, I could just go back to the beginning of the course and complete a lap. It's basically a skip, more or less. There's a couple of these skips in this game, and I'll try my best to explain. Anyway, if you want, if I have enough time, I'll actually show the opening cutscene, because the opening cutscene is a nice laugh. It's pretty corny, and I like it. So right here, we're actually going to switch our character. We're going to switch to Conky. And we're going to go to our next level. Click, please. There is actually no RNG manipulation in this run. But there is AI manipulation in other runs, such runs that use the Grand Prix, for example. Because in Grand Prix mode, you basically have a certain amount of levels to get points, and to win, you have to get the most amount of points. So, however, there's also the option to basically skip a level and get 0 points. If you play in a certain fashion, you can technically get enough points to win without playing all the levels. Now what's interesting is when you do that, when it tries to tally the rankings for the CPU opponents, it tallies them based on where they were at the time you skipped the level. So as a result, you can basically manipulate the standings and skip a bunch of levels in the Grand Prix. It's pretty fun. But since we're playing any percent, we don't get to see that. So I just wanted to get that out of the way. So now let's start explaining the names. These are bowling balls. They're basically the green shell of the game. You can basically throw them forward, throw them back, they travel in a straight line, unless they bump into a wall. Now this item, which I'm going to try and hold on to, is called the Fly Swatter. One of its functions is to, when you wield it, it basically slaps players nearby and makes them slow down by squishing them. But what it also does is certain items have interesting properties. The lack of shadows is because I'm playing on less graphics, so that I can have 60 FPS. Here, I'll show it. There you go. That's what the Fly Swatter does. But what it also does is there's an interesting property between certain sets of items. Is that certain sets of items override each other when you use them. Of these items include the Fly Swatter, the Bubble Gum, and the Parachute, which can be applied to, which is a debuff. Which is why I try my best to hold on to a Fly Swatter or a Bubble Gum. Like, I'll show you the Fly Swatter right now, but I try to hold my best onto the Fly Swatter because you can override things like that Parachute right there, because the Parachute just overrid my Fly Swatter. So I want to hold on to a Fly Swatter item so that if a Parachute shows up, I can override the Parachute and basically not have to slow down. If you didn't have a thing to override the Parachute, you have to slow down a little, because the Parachute simply goes away when you go slow enough. So the blue stuff I'm collecting is Nitro. It's basically boost. And you want to collect this because it helps you travel through the level quicker, because it gives you a pretty nice boost. Also, if you desire, you can tap the boost button like this, but you get less boost than actually holding the boost button down for the entire duration. So don't do that. I wish I was playing on Raspberry Pi. That would be pretty cool. This is really interesting. I've gotten 0 parachutes from the CPUs. You might see the parachute. There's the parachute item. So that's what and this is what you have to do to get rid of the parachute. You have to slow down a little bit. So that just showed you what the parachute does. There's another item called the magic box swapper, or the swapper item. And what it does is it basically turns all the presents into bananas and the bananas into presents for a limited amount of time. Now, one of the good things about the bubblegum is because if you get hit with a parachute, the bubblegum can block the parachute hit. where am I going now? I'm going here, I think? Yes, right. There's a tricky skip coming up. I have no guarantees I'll get every lap, but I'll try. So there's the basketball and there's the bubblegum. So the bubblegum can block a hit when you use it. Did I get up? We take those. We take those. But the premise is to hit that polygon and launch yourself up there. Oh, I forgot about that. If you go too far off the track, sometimes it can... And that's the dangers of trying that shortcut, because that can happen. If you do this course like properly all the time, you can actually lap up the CPUs. It's pretty fun. The good thing about bubblegum is that you can use the bubblegum to override a parachute, and then the next parachute will be blocked by the bubblegum, so basically it acts as a double protection, more or less. Admin is doing it sideways. Will it work? Stick the landing. 10 out of 10. I have to wait for that little cutscene to show up, because if I don't, it's possible to glitch the cutscene and make it never appear. And when you do that, you don't get your trophy points. And with that, you can possibly just screw over the run completely because you have no way of continuing. Oh, that's a shame. That's a shame for you, Wilbur. That's a shame because I didn't even hear that. Luck is just not on my side today. I'm quite sad. Anyway, really? Luck is just not on my side today. So, about boosting, there's two levels of boost in this game. There's the red boost, which you see what I'm doing here. And there's also the yellow boost, which I'm about to do here. The yellow boost is a bit slower than the red boost, but also is much easier to get. So there's a lot of, the red boost also lasts a little bit longer than the yellow boost, so if you can, it's optimal to get chains of red boosts because that basically lets you travel faster for longer. But in some cases you just can't even keep a red boost and then you have to default to the yellow boost. Like right here. Hey, gotta hop over the wall. So now we're gonna go back to this side of the playfield and go play another level that we missed because it costed 70, because it requires 70 trophy points to play. Another thing that I am doing at the beginning of each level is I'm basically using the pause buffer to essentially skip the opening cutscene where it starts a map. If you hit escape twice in rapid succession, you can basically skip the cutscene. It saves about 7 seconds or so through each time you skip it. And in a run that's that can be over 30 minutes, it's pretty significant. Yes, I do want to slow down there because there's a boost canister there. By the way, like I mentioned before, the fact that this is related to open source software, this game is also free. You can get it online anytime you want. Whoa! Well, that was a shame. That well-placed bubblegum. Whoa there. I think it does. Yes, it does. It has the GitHub character as well. I think so. Or maybe it doesn't. I don't remember. Yeah, I think there's an Octocat add-on that you can use. Oh, where do I go here? Okay. Okay, so I was supposed to change character in the previous level, but that's fine. I'll just play this level as normal. Oh, well. I guess I'll just do this then. That's actually sad. I hope someone does it. I hope someone makes it a reality, because that would be pretty cool. I'd totally play as Octocat. What I find really ironic is the fact that this game is on GitHub, but they don't have the GitHub character. Hello? Checkpoint? Checkpoint? Do you not work? This is actually a problem. GitHub isn't open source? Wow. That's actually kind of depressing. Hello? Checkpoints. The checkpoints aren't working. What? I was not expecting this. I was not expecting that bubblegum either. And I was not expecting that basketball that I can't do anything about. Hello? Checkpoint? I'm utterly confused. I'm utterly confused. The thing is, I always got this in the practice, but now it's just not happening. Farther at the start. Okay. Well, that worked. There we go. That's a shame. Also, by the way, Andit is another player in SuperTuxKart. If Beastie Boy would just leave me alone. Andit is one of the really good players of this game, so give them a shout. Meanwhile, me, I'm returning back to this game after, what was it, months of not playing? So, yeah. It's a bit of a jump because I had to learn more skips. I had to learn new things out of the game. Some skips that are really weird, like that one Hacienda. And some that I didn't even know were possible, like this one right here. So, big shout out to the community for being able to document these skips. That is squished. That was just a freeze frame before disaster. Just that squish is great. I didn't mean to clip the grass. Memes. I didn't get the trophy points. Hello? It glitched out and didn't give me trophy points. That's a big no. I have to play another level now. It's okay, we can still play another level instead. And that's what I mean about the trophy point glitch. It's kind of annoying. Yeah, I don't want to go mountain climbing, thank you. And that's why I gave it a bit of an estimate, because I figured something like this would happen, and I'd have to detour out of my way. Hello, I can see this. You are invisible, Shadow Fighter. Welcome to Twitch. Another thing you can do for the bouncy ball is instead of taking the hit, you can just basically respawn And it's a little bit faster than just taking the hit originally. I don't like this level because it's just so long. That's why we don't play it at 80% normally. But sometimes exceptions have to be made. Basically, what happened was after I finished the previous level, instead of bringing me the cutscene and giving me my trophy points, it just didn't give me the trophy points. It just didn't do the cutscene or anything. And there we go. Let's select our cart. There we go. It should be. Hello? You quack here. Oh, nice. That leader's a bro this time. So this is a follow the leader challenge. The goal is to stay behind the leader and be second place the whole time. It's not always possible and sometimes it can be annoying, but two, one. No! Oh, gosh. He like got so close to the leader, I couldn't do anything. The best challenge in the game. It's literally the RNG. This is literal RNG. You don't want boosters because boosters are completely pointless. I do like the fact that he just got knocked back though, that's pretty nice. I don't want boosters. Maybe something more useful than boosters, like a cupcake. Cupcake's good. I like cupcake. The cake's useful because then you can get a gap between the leader and the other characters. There we go. That's the end. So this level is interesting because we're going to backtrack here and not fall off, hopefully. So it's skip time! So just like I explained before, we're basically going backwards and hitting the checkpoints while not hitting the respawn point, which is right around here. So we're gonna have to deal with that basketball later, just for reference. We can, however, try to avoid it. Wait, where'd it go? Did it despawn? Where did it go? I thought it was there a moment ago. Hey, Pringle. How are you? Mr. 1.0 right here. Theodore Pringle is the current record holder for version 1.0. So give him a shout out. The SuperTuxKart speedrun community is small but very dedicated, and we're more than welcome to let anyone give it a try. Oh, I want to respawn better there, but hey. So, yeah, there's a little wall there that you can ride on, and it counts towards the checkpoint, but not the respawn. So you can just use that to skip all the laps and finish the race. I hear that basketball behind me. I hear it. There we go. Now, another item that you see is the plunger. Basically, if you're trying to attack a player with it, you'll end up launching it at someone and hitching them for an extra boost of speed. But if you have no one to fight, nobody to launch it against, instead you fire it at a wall, and that works just as well. Which is kind of nice about this game is because it's not just about the items that you get and use on your players, it's about how you use them because they have multiple purposes. Where was I supposed to go next? Right here. Mini golf. Yeah, the animations are a little more Ow! Ow game? I got sniped. Someone vac banned that guy. I'm gonna sort of like go over this way because it's faster to go over that wall. Yeah, mini golf is annoying. Because it has some pretty annoying turns. Oh, that double parachute. Also, another thing to note about this map in particular, it has the highest item density of any map in the game. So you get to see a lot of parachutes. So that was like 3 parachutes in one row. There's another parachute right there. So right there at the windmill, you can have the bouncy ball explode on the wall. It's pretty fun. The bouncy ball is a little bit, aka the basketball looking thing, is a little fickle. It'll literally collide on any wall and explode. What's also nice about this is, if you have an attack item on you, like a cupcake or a bowling ball, you can throw that item back at the bouncy ball and make it explode because it'll come in contact with it. Oh right, I forgot. SuperTuxKart. So now I'm gonna switch back to this character. Because for the rest of the game, we don't have to worry about like big skips or anything. So we get to collect nitro. There is a method of collecting nitro in this map which is a little bit faster, but it's so precise that it's probably not a good idea for me to do it for the marathon safety sake. Basically what you do is instead of going around the way I do, you would actually instead go out of bounds and go somewhere else to get around to the ramp section. It's a little bit faster, but you actually have to be a lot more careful. The nitro. Can you please, car? Can you turn? That works, I guess. Yeah, the physics can be pretty wonky, by the way. Like what I showed you there. Whoops. I did not mean to press that button there. That works, I guess. That noise means I have enough nitro, so I can now finish the level. There we go, I got the skip. So we're nearing the end of the game, which is nice because we almost have 180 trophy points, and we need 180 trophy points to beat the game. Hey, sometimes luck is on our side. The thing you want to do in races is that you want to get ahead of the pack as soon as possible, because that basically minimizes the amount of impact the CPUs have on you with items. Because more or less they'll try and shoot their item at the nearest valid target. So for example, if they have a bowling ball and the opponent ahead of them has a bubblegum currently equipped, they'll not throw it at the bubblegum person, but then they'll throw it at you. Which is kind of sad because then you get hurt and it's not fun. But if you go far enough from the CPUs, they can't do any damage to you. No, you don't have to fill it to max for expert. Yes, you can have more than 3 bowling balls. If you get the same exact item, it stacks up. So there's another example of the item replacement. The ticking time bomb is also part of that list. I just didn't really explain it because you won't see it very often. Unless you had a banana, of course. Because that is the only way to get the ticking time bomb. So now it's time for gate skip. So I'll show this just to show you what you can't do. Is you can go to the gate, but the gate is closed. It'll tell you to complete all the challenges to unlock the door. But we have a strat called gate skip. It'll take some time, but I can get it eventually. Whoops, that's the wrong spot. Change config file. No, you didn't. You don't do that. It's gate skip. It takes some time, It doesn't exist in 1.0, sadly. Is that good? It's good! But I fell off! Darn it! I was so close. I did it so well earlier, but now I can't somehow. I went over. I went over. That's depressing. Why is this so hard for me? I did it so earlier. Come on. There we go. Now we're talking. So now we're on this wall. We're going to basically right on the wall. By the way, there's gates to get by. Yeah. So we're basically out of bounds, and we're gonna drive around so we can drive around the gate. Gotta be careful here because there's a way to fall off there. Wait, did I skip it properly or? Oh no. No! I don't got it. I'm stuck in the wall. I'm stuck in the wall. No, it's not check lines. Well, maybe it is. I don't remember. Come on. We don't have all day with this. There we go. Much better. Let's not have that happen this time. There's the wall. Okay. And now we can go to the challenge. We're coming up on time because this is the last level. By the way, you see him boosting away? That's the villain of this game. He cheats. His name is No Lock. He cheats. But we can cheat too in our own special way. Oh, I just watched him fall off. That's amazing. I've never seen No Lock just fall off the cliff. What was he even thinking? Just get a screenshot of him just like flying off. Remember, cheaters always prosper. That's the moral of the story in video gaming. So that's a case of when you hit the checkpoint but also hit a respawn point. So no, I have to go back to the level again. Oh, boost arrow. Whoops. Ow. No lock, stop it. Thank you. There we go. I think we're about done here. There we go, time. And yes, we get to save New, which is the mascot for New Public License, by freeing him from the chamber inside Nolix's castle. That's a good animation. So, there's something I want to ask. Is it possible to show the beginning cutscene because it's really funny? Is there time to do that?
Not really, but go for it.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Okay. Let's make a new So there we go. This is the opening cutscene. So basic New is there just in his garden. So this is the story of the game. And here comes the best moment. Take a look at Tux's very disdainful face. What's wrong, little hippies? Your great new leader is missing. Oh yes, see, he's in my castle now, and will be served for supper. But I'm a fair creature, so I'll make you a deal. If you can beat me at racing, I will free the old codger. But you pathetic little tourist will never be able to beat me, king of the carts. And then we get one last look at Tux's very endless depression face. And that's it. We're all done with SuperTuxKart. Thank you so much. You're welcome to go and check out the game and get it. It has online, by the way. The most recent version has online multiplayer, so you can play it online with your friends. Big shoutouts to the SuperTux speedrun community because a lot of people work together to make it possible to do a run like this. And without it, I probably wouldn't have started speedrunning altogether because they're basically one of my first games. I'm on Windows. However, this game was basically started on Linux. So with that said, thank you for watching. It was nice to have me here. Thank you so much. I can't wait to see the next run.